Next to C6 2431 is the handrail number. Is that all right? Copy. 2431, I copy.
На месте.
It's in place.
Принято. Обхожу, сейчас подожду Сергея.
Copy. I'll wait for Sergey here. I will switch this to the US system.
Принято.
Copy.
Красиво.
You look beautiful.
Так, вернулся. Так, не толкни меня сейчас. Не, я уйду с этой стороны.
On this side.
Заходите. Куда? С этой стороны тут заходи.
I'm going to approach from this side.
Вот сюда.
By the right hand.
Да, вот этот поручень можно на него сейчас.
You can use the handrail here and stop here, and I will switch you here.
Приготовил удлинитель.
I prepared the extension.
Кого там, по-моему, называется? Так.
Okay?
Закрыл.
Closed.
На замочек лок поставь.
Make sure the lock is secured.
Распутать.
Let me untangle this.
Олег, ты его отцепи от поручня, и он сам выйдет.
Alex, detach it from the handrail and it will untangle by itself.
Это результат моего запихивания в голубых. Шитья есть сейчас? Оригами.
Inaudible.
Упакуем ящик.
We'll pack this bag.
У нас где-то на 20 минут пропал Q-band, и...
We will have no KU band for about 20 minutes, and we'll have Reticom short LOSs.
Принято.
Copy.
As spacewalkers were just warned, we're out of video downlink of the station again. Out of range of video downlink, rather. We may get a brief period back in just a minute or two for about 5 minutes, but after that we'll be without video until about 1:10 p.m. Central Time.
Так,
Crew members are still making their way to their next assignment, the final one for the spacewalk, to deactivate this experiment that had been used to gather seismic information and predict earthquakes.
Sure. Here are the connectors from RK and checking. The numbers are here. If we have no cam, we can use the labels with the numbers. Anton, can you still hear us? Yes. We'll have no cam in a second. One connector is going to FP21, the other one to FP20. The numbers of the connector 20-4 on FP, and the other one 21-1. Copy. Yes, we do have them. I'm on the external system. Yes. CVP 20-4. That's the one to disconnect and make sure the cable from RK is going upward. Yes, it is going to RK. And now the next one is 21-1. Correct, 21-1. 20-4 is disconnected, and I'm closing MLI flap on FT20. Connect the patch panel. MLI flap is closed. A lot of angling.
Crew now getting to work on the deactivation of that experiment, starting with the disconnection of some cables on either side of it, both of them working on opposite sides to disconnect the cables and stow them away safely.
Creative approach here.
Once they do have those cables disconnected, the second step of deactivating the experiment is to fold the antenna that it used.
We have 4 minutes of eclipse. Happy. And the second one is out. Pulling them out from the cable holders. We temporarily have the picture again. It is going to disappear. Okay. Do you need help? All right.
Снял,
Removed.
наматываю на РК.
Putting on to OK. Copy.
Давай, свете помогу.
Let me help you here.
С этой стороны.
On this side.
Подожди. Ты не бегай туда-сюда, сейчас я.
Inaudible.
Сейчас. Смотри, здесь специально.
Okay.
Жалко.
Here's the cable holder.
Мы с вами потеряли видео.
We have no picture now. For about 13 minutes we will not have a picture.
Сергей, ты помнишь, да, как кабель намотывается?
Sergey, you remember how the cables are supposed to go around the monoblock in lyrica clips and attached with wire ties?
Он жестче, чем ожидал.
It's actually more stiff than expected.
Не сказать, что он сильно жаждет в эти дырки.
He's not
Ну, как?
eagerly getting into the lyrica clips, the cable.
Разъемчик.
Is the connectors?
Back now in that longer loss of video that we mentioned a moment ago, but as you can hear, just a short dropout of audio there, and we've got the spacewalkers.
And here
The spacewalkers back as they continue working to disconnect and store the cables for that experiment that they're deactivating.
that's all.
Ну, нормально.
That looks all right.
Скажите, пожалуйста, как ваше
Tell us
ощущение и самочувствие?
how's the thermal situation there? How are you feeling in general?
Нормально.
All right.
Комфортненько.
Comfortable.
Я немножко потеплее, как бы так сейчас сделал.
Got a bit, made a bit warmer for the eclipse time. How are we going along the timeline?
В норме.
All nominal, fair timeline.
Тогда мы отдыхаем.
Then we will take a rest.
Да, есть предложение. Вот
Yes, we propose you rest for at least 10 minutes.
Блин,
Copy.
Ну, если будете отдыхать, да, можно.
But if you
In addition to being without video, the space station's also moving into the dark portion of this orbit around the Earth.
adjust the cooling,
So the crew members are once again taking
you can freeze.
the opportunity to rest a bit and
Thank you.
prepare for when they will have better lighting again.
All right.
Давайте покажу.
Let me show it to you.
Я пойму. Уже пойму.
Yes, I moved it. Well, maybe you can move a bit closer yourself. Yes, hold on.
Я за тебя буду держать.
Just secure yourself in place, and then I'll be holding on to you. Is that good? Yes.
Не видно.
I cannot see it that well. All right. Slowly.
Классно, видишь, там.
Do you see the valve? Yes, I do.
Так, и знаешь, что еще сделать?
And you know what else
Мне инструмент
we can do?
уже не нужен будет.
We can move the camera because these tools will not be required anymore.
Делаю.
So I'll move it. Okay. Oleg, are you trying to
Я бы сказал, толкерем.
replace the flashback with the camera? Well, I wanted to say the tool caddy.
Нет возражений? Нет.
Do you have any objections?
Вам не понадобится.
That's right. The ratchet wrench that you have and the
typical bag will not be required. Okay. Yes, it's very specialized tool. All right, let me move away a little bit so you have more space. Okay. Go ahead. All right, open, now close. I think I'll have to remove the trash bag. All right, and can you try to attach it to the thread? Let me see. Maybe it'll be okay. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, maybe we can use a range for 13. So, I think it's okay. We need to verify the concept that we don't have any extra reds. Right, and things are floating away, or floating around, rather.
I'm back now with video from the helmet cameras of the crew, Oleg Kotov and Sergei Rosansky.
More or less.
Now 4 hours and 36 minutes into today's 6-hour-long spacewalk, and taking a brief rest during the nighttime portion of this orbit before they get back to work on the third and final task of the spacewalk.
And that's the red button. You have a bit more than 10 minutes before you leave eclipse, before the orbital day. Copy? Yes, and the button is quite big. Okay. Press on it. That's a box-like triangle. All right. Okay, and I can see the whole cable, a whole bundle of cables on the left. You see that? And then this valve, or flap rather, yes, close and turn it upside down. All right. Yes, and the DC-1 hatch is longingly calling us. It's flirting with us. It's calling us. Okay, then I guess we'll need to assemble this. Collect this. Right, this. We'll need to collect that one. Right. The cables are here, the wire ties are here and there, everywhere. Okay, red. And the obstanovka also nearby. That's a good thing, you know. That's a good hardware. But you can go there only via the U.S. segment because there's really nothing to hold on to. Well, if we go from here, from down under, right, but if you go from here, you can go belly along the upper side, and then there are no handrails inside. So I guess if it's a mixed protocol, then we can do that. You remember? We removed it here, and then we attached it somewhere, and it was secured. Well, no, we removed it, and then we attached it to these handrails. Right. And then remember, prior to the docking, right, we folded it, right, and then we removed it. Right. Joking.
Нормально?
Are you okay? Yes, I can move my hand.
Ну, не совсем, в смысле,
That's
то есть до того дела.
good. So you lost some weight then, huh?
Твоя рука выходит?
Yes. Does your hand, can your hand go through? Yes, absolutely. That's if you see in the area of the watch, I'm losing weight.
Я просто стройный.
No, I've always been slim and fit.
Так.
Right. Just joking around.
Это можно пошевелить.
Can you move it? Move it around?
Какая штука удобная оказалась.
There is something, some kind of an object
Вагоны новые.
happened to be here.
Когда ты залезал,
These are
тебя они сложились пополам.
new things. You know, when
Складки
you were
снаружи плеча, то, что я пытался, да, их отрезать.
getting
Я потом раздулся.
in,
Вот, да, наверное, тогда ты их
then they folded,
потому что у меня они не поправились.
and then I was trying to adjust your shoulder straps, but I think they just got in the position the way they're in.
Прекрасно. Какие грузы подавали?
As the thunderstorms
Это не мы.
underneath you are truly amazing. Yeah, we can see that.
До выхода из тени 5 минут.
You have 5 minutes before the dawn.
Наслаждаемся.
All right.
Тут запасные проволоки.
Right, we have some extra wire ties.
Разобрать.
They're just hanging there.
Поручень после
Shall we pick those up? They're just hanging there on the handrail.
Пускай лежит.
Or
Следующий.
shall we leave it? Maybe the next crew might use it.
Пригодится. Ну, может быть.
Well, I don't know if we'll need it during the next EVA.
В следующий раз понесет мотки проволоки.
Next time, I think when
Будет запас.
we go EVA, we can just take some wire reels and just leave them out, just in case as extra.
Хорошо. Да. Лебедки на тебе понесем уже.
Okay, so the cable reel, I guess we'll just have to carry attached to us. Absolutely, not a problem.
Олег, а вы ехать сюда, куда выходить? Ага.
Alec, is that the one next to you you're referring to? Yes.
Слушай, это якорь шел именно под эту, или он просто
Was this Yanker foot restraint
был?
designed for this particular one or in general?
Мотивация была оттуда сюда его здесь.
Well, the task was to bring it from the original location to here, and then I don't know what was intended next.
там не замерз?
Is Mike freezing?
Ну и какой рассвет красивый.
Oh, the dawn is coming. It's really beautiful.
Сказочный рассвет. Что? Сказочный рассвет.
Yes, the dawn is fairy-like. You know, the sun
Облачность высокая
rise is beautiful.
идет.
It's really cloudy, and the sky is thick with clouds, and it's unbelievable.
Что ты ломаешь?
What are you doing? Are you trying to break something? Working on it.
Смотри в окрестности.
I'll just be careful, you know. So,
Команда, кто хочет поработать?
well, give us the go to continue. My friend would like to continue working.
У нас там связь есть?
Do we have com right now?
Ну, по готовности начинаете, да. Мы вас
Okay.
слышим.
We can see you and we can hear you. So,
Хорошо.
on your readiness, you have a go.
Положение открыто.
All right, then we'll be switching the lock into position open. Okay, press and rotate towards the
Замок должен повернуться
sign open.
180 градусов.
Yes, it should rotate about 100 or about 80 degrees. Rotating.
Нажал.
You first need to depress it. Well, it's moving up to 90 degrees.
Даже не дергай.
Okay, just don't pull. Easy.
Антон, он должен строго стать на 90.
Anton, do you know
Ой, на 180.
if it has to be at 180 degrees or it's okay if it doesn't? No, it has to be at 180 degrees. So try the position you are in and see if you can open the
Похоже,
pedals.
перекачивает.
Well,
Давай, с той стороны.
don't pull because otherwise going to be misaligned.
Может, я тогда попробую?
Well, shall I try to maybe approach it from the left? Maybe we'll get lucky from that side.
На 90 или полностью?
Do you want me to try at 90 degrees or to a full stop? To a full stop. Inward.
Нет. С применением.
No.
Грубую силу? Да.
Is it asking for some brutal force?
Сейчас посмотрим.
Let us see. Maybe we can just move it gently. Just move it slightly towards this way.
Застрял.
It got stuck.
Штифтики. В глазах.
Okay.
Олег Валерьевич, непонятно.
Oleg,
Держит замок.
it's not clear to you, right, what is holding
Со всех сторон
the lock
смотрю.
in place? No, it's not clear because I'm visually looking at all the aspects. I'm looking everywhere. The pedals go in,
Двигаюсь.
and I can see them moving, but I'm not sure what is holding on.
Знаешь что, сейчас,
You know what,
Серег,
Sergey?
попробуй. Я буду так двигать, а ты
I will try to move it
вот так вот.
along these axes, and you try to shake it a little bit this way. Maybe it'll work.
Так,
Just like that. Okay.
сейчас что у нас есть?
Good stuff. What have we got?
Это инструмент.
Okay, this is a tool.
У нас рекомендация так.
We have a recommendation for you, and the specialists on the ground
Антенну в таком положении из-за
actually confirm that it's okay to leave antenna in this position, and then you can wrap up this particular activity. Well, we still have time, so we can maybe try again.
Потому что что-то она двигается.
Yes, because it's moving, but something is holding. Okay, copy all.
Сейчас мы раскачаем.
Let us move it, maybe just shake it or move it from side to side.
Так. Помочь? Сейчас посмотрим.
Let us have a look from this side
Угол.
at this angle.
Чтобы было видно.
So I'll just angle it in such a way that it's very visible.
Смотрим.
Okay, are you moving it from left to right so you could see? Yes, I am.
Так.
All right.
Олег Валерьевич,
Oleg Valeryevich,
в течение нескольких
if you won't manage to do it within the next few minutes, then the specialists are recommending to leave this equipment as is.
понятно.
Yes, we understand. It's currently in a safe configuration.
Надо же разобраться с чем, что делать.
We really need to figure out what to do.
Сейчас хочу посмотреть.
I want to check the pins that can be extended.
Now, 4 hours and 56 minutes into today's 6-hour-long spacewalk, the crew is working on the last portion of the task to deactivate the experiment that's been on the Zvezda module collecting seismic information and predicting earthquakes, and working to fold the antenna of that experiment now, but have run into a little bit of trouble, so they're seeing what they might be able to do to make that work.
Okay, let's go. Let's try it. Maybe it will cooperate.
Я посмотрю.
Is it sitting okay?
Та же самая ерунда.
Oh, like
Местный
this?
клиент. Что-то мешает.
Something is on the way. Okay, just a little bit left.
Oleg
Sergey, this is Yuri Krasnohege. I am the SRP on duty. The decision has been made since I understand that we cannot fold the antenna and the problem is apparently the latch. Yes. You can have one more attempt, but the decision has been already confirmed that unless you won't be able to do it, go ahead, keep it and move to DC-1. I just wanted to let you know that the decision has been made. Okay. Let us try one more time, and we have another proposal. So we should not be folding the halves in this position, right? Because they're looking outward, so we will not be able to fold them properly. No, don't do that. Okay, this way, yes. Bring the latches back to the initial position and leave the work site. Okay. Copy.
Team from the ground giving the crew word that they are going to have time for one more attempt to fold the antenna on the experiment that they are working to deactivate, and if that doesn't work, they'll leave that for another time and let the team on the ground have some more time to consider it while they go ahead and come back in and end the day's spacewalk, which we are now exactly 5 hours into.
You know what we can do? We can check the functionality of this button. Yes, please take a few pictures of the cables and also how did you manage to wrap up the cable. Yes, we'll do that. Okay, very good. If possible, when you'll be translating away, try to take another picture of a general view from some distance.
Can you push my legs down? Could you apply more force? Okay. Is it all right? Yes.
You hear from Oleg Kotov's helmet camera, taking time out for a photo of Sergei Rosansky. And they're going to attempt once more to fold up this antenna that's given them problems before they go in for the day.
Okay. Now the latches.
Right now, the spacewalkers and the space station are about 261 miles above the North Pacific Ocean, just below the Bering Strait, and about to reach the northernmost portion of this orbit before they head southeast across the United States.
Look at me. All right, let's go. Wipe the window on the outside. Well, there is a danger that they'll remove your ledge. I'm on the inside looking at pins. There's something about the grease here. Well, maybe next time we can manipulate it as a whole piece. We still have more vehicles coming. Can you hold it? Okay, I'm holding it. Thinking about the best point to grab on. Well, first of all, be tender. That I understand. I'm just trying to find the best attachment point. Well, how is it? Okay. We can remove it. That's how we can do it. Through. You can see the pins. Not the ones that are free. We need to understand which pins are we interested in. Sergey, lower your left arm. Oleg Valerievich and Sergey, we propose to start translating towards DC-1. Okay, we're about to do just that. We copy. Let us go back to the initial. What about cables, Oleg? Did you take the photos? Which ones? The ones that were bundled up? Well, that's a simple thing to do.
Не так близко. Как висел, так и висел.
Not so close. It's still hanging in the same place.
Давайте заканчивать фотосъемку уже.
Okay, guys, let's wrap up the photo ops and let's start going back. Yes, we are just doing the close. Close out, and we are closing the lens.
Переходим на российскую систему.
And translate into the Russian. Switch into the Russian protocol. Yes, copy.
Spacewalkers planning now to wrap up their work for the day. Weren't able to get that antenna folded up, but they'll go ahead and leave that for another time. Get it into a secure position, and then head back to the Piers docking compartment to wrap up today's spacewalk. They're just about 5 hours and 10 minutes into it. It's planned to last about 6 hours in all, so they're making good time.
Of course. Okay, thank you. Now I'm holding it. Okay, I'm moving forward. Yeah, go ahead. And I'll ingress DC-1 first, not to rotate the thing, okay? The hooks are here. I am removing the real hook. Copy. Let's double check, looking at the work site. Looks like everything is just fine, yes. We have an extra wire tie, but let it be here. Can always be useful. Okay, copy. Any other recommendations? No? No other recommendations? Don't forget the foot restraint. Yes, I keep it in mind. I will grab it on my way back. Yes, Sergey, my recommendation is to translate like cross lane 1 to go pick up the foot restraint and then go back. I believe that is not to rotate the solar array panels. Yes, okay. Still, we'll be rotating them, but right after you leave the area. Okay, copy. Well, thank God the foot restraint is quite close. I am translating to the gap spanner. Copy. Let me do this step first. Do you have video?
Да, видео получил.
Affirmative. We received the image. That's great. Then help us. Just in case.
Да, конечно.
Of course.
Спрашивайте, если что-то непонятно.
Please ask any questions if you have them. Okay.
Главное, говорит, поворот не пройти.
Most important is not to miss this turn.
Сергей, ты сейчас за якорем и догоняешь Олега.
Sergey, go grab the foot restraint, then you'll turn around and you'll be catching up with Oleg. Well, I already have foot restraint attached to my suit and I am catching up with Oleg. All right, and as soon as you reach the handrails of the small diameter, let us know. Copy.
Another break in our video downlink from the station as the spacewalkers making their way back to the Piers docking compartment to wrap up the spacewalk, but this should only last a couple of moments until we are able to get video back.
Было небольшое пропадание связи.
We had a short dropout.
Хорошо.
Copy. We are translating.
Да, проходим район.
We are passing in the area of window 9. Copy.
Я перехожу
I am
на продольный.
translating to the longitudinal handrails. Okay, then we will start commanding the solar rays. Stand by one. It's a bit early. Let me reach the agreed point because it's not just reaching it, it's also ensuring that I'm in the right position. Okay. Actually, I think the solar array panel is in a beautiful position. As is. Yes, but the one on plane 4 is currently normal to the shell, and it can be on your way when you'll be translating further. Oh, well. Yes, we'll be commanding right now, so please stay where you are for a moment. Okay. Inaudible. We're standing by. Okay, I can see it rotating. Well, the torch seems to be willing to go outside. No, I double-checked. It's secured very reliably. Yes, but it still wants to be free. Okay. What do we have this black thing for? It's for Saner experiment. No, the one that's in the middle. It's Shakave. Okay, copy. That's an interesting design. Yes. Watch the panel, and as soon as it stops rotating, you are go to proceed with translation. Sure. Okay, we are translating copy, and when you'll be on a small diameter, please let us know. We shall enable the thrusters. I am on the small diameter already. Copy. Slowly but surely. Sergey still has to catch up with me. I'm on the longitudinal handrails as well. Sergey, you've transitioned, yes? Affirmative. I'm on the longitudinal handrails right above the solar array panel. No hurry. Okay, I'm translating to the EV leather. Copy. We have some trophies with it. No, we left a small piece, but coming back with a big one. There are lights in the windows. There are people living there. Do you
view from Sergey Rozansky's helmet camera as he takes a peek in.
But we lost Sergey's
a window on the way back to the Piers docking compartment as he and Oleg Kotov wrap up their spacewalk for the day.
On. Oh, okay, now it's back. Probably there is something with the signal. Hey, you missed the turn. Use this tether. Okay, give me another second to enjoy the view. God, it's so beautiful. We'll have Bahamas right below us. In a minute, Sergey. Please do not touch planes with your gloves. They can be dangerous. Oh, I can see Cape Canaveral. Nothing blocks it from my view. Perfectly clear picture. Here is foot restraint. Sergey, Oleg, this is Yuri Krasny, SRP. This is for your information. We enabled the thrusters, which means that any translation to the large diameter is prohibited, to the aero large diameter. A reminder, before you ingress DC-1, you need to do the audit of your equipment and report on the state of your gloves. Copy. Let us know when you'll be ready. Google. Okay, here we go.
Сейчас я затолкаю обратно факел.
Let me push the torch back in place.
Так, давай, значит, инвентаризируемся.
Let's do the equipment audit. Are you ready? Yes, Oleg. Please tell us what do you have on the stanchion? I have still camera. A tool caddy with long range and all the sockets. Then I have small red. Copy. And large small red. Copy. Copy all. Now, крылок back. Okay. Let's move on to крылок back. Let me pull it closer.
Так, значит,
Well,
крылок бэги.
what we have here in the крылок bag, we have trash bag.
Обычный ключ, трещотка.
Regular ratchet.
Артефактный ключ.
Our custom wrench.
Нож.
Knife.
Ключ. Разводной.
Universal wrench, and that's pretty much it. Copy. You should have one adjustable on the крылок. Yes, it's attached, right? Copy. Okay, next, Sergey, you can proceed on your readiness.
Фотоаппарат.
Photo camera.
Трещотка.
Ratchet wrench.
С насадкой маленькой.
With an adapter.
Red большой, маленький.
Red small, large, small, small.
Лебедка.
The
вот это у меня что-то.
wheel.
И якорь.
And
Якорь на
foot restraint.
транспортировочном.
It's on the translational tether.
Toolkit ты не упомянула.
And the toolkit you did not install, it's installed in there, right? Yes.
Теперь, значит, подтвердите мне, пожалуйста,
Now, please
что находится
confirm that
кронштейн.
everything is inside the bracket for Germelbach, the tool carrier, cam adapter, wall stack.
View here from Oleg Kotov's helmet camera as he and Sergei Rosansky work through their inventory of the tools, making sure that they have everything they came out of the Piers docking compartment with, and they, as you can see, are actually back at the Piers docking compartment now, and just a few minutes away from getting back inside and ending the spacewalk.
Qatar. Is it in DC? Yes, it is in DC, close to KPU. Copy. One more red small large is also on the bracket of Germelbach. Yes, correct. And two red small on KPU, correct?
Да, на одном
Yes.
висит КЛТ, на другом.
KLT is on one of them and the other with the adapter. Copy. Did you examine your gloves for contamination? Stand by. Look at me now. Okay. I do not see any contamination. Looks all right. On your readiness, start ingressing. And the sublimators are going to be dried up here or there. When both of you are inside on our go, you will turn them off. Okay, copy. We proceed. We translate. Copy.
Так, сейчас буду снимать здесь. Стоп. Стою.
I'm going to remove here. Stop.
Уперся. Я сейчас назад. Замшу карабин отцепить. Я сейчас.
I'm going to remove the hook here
Я этот зацеплюсь.
to make sure.
Зацеплю.
I will attach one here and the other one in crew log bag is on a short tether.
Если надо, эти карабины подам.
If you want, I can give the hook to you. No, I don't need it.
Так. Снял пилотек, сейчас задний ход.
Okay, removed it, moving back.
Ключом цепляешься.
And you're connected.
Да, хорошо.
Yes, I am.
Длинный, в смысле, растяжной карабин внутри.
And the adjustable hook is inside. Yes, copy.
Oleg Kotov now making his way back inside the Piers docking compartment, as you can see. The spacewalk, which is now just past the 5 hours and 30-minute mark, will officially end when both spacewalkers are back in the Piers docking compartment and have closed and locked the hatch.
Нормально.
Who's good?
Так, ну, я практически дошел.
Basically inside.
Оставляю на себе только
On myself,
один карабин.
I attached to one hook. Only one hook is attached to me. Copy.
Да будешь готов, я тебе якорь заведу.
And I can bring the foot restraint in. Yes.
Взял? Да, взял.
Got it? Yes.
Ну, сейчас. Отцепил.
Disconnected here.
Сейчас. Пока не заходи.
Don't get in yet.
Да, цепляем. Серег. Что встал?
Lost? What did you lose?
Сейчас. Якорь.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
Аккуратно, гермобокс.
Carefully.
Просто обернулся вокруг.
Yes, it's wrapped around.
Карабины, поэтому я не очень.
Wrapped around the hook.
Ну вот.
Okay.
Нормально?
It's all right? Yes.
Да, хорошо.
It was good.
Захожу.
I'm ingressing.
Принято.
Copy.
Хватил. Подожди. Сейчас я еще.
Wait. I'm waiting.
Хватил. Может, пересекить?
Maybe I should rehook. I got it
На red.
on red on myself to make sure it's not going to fly away, fly around too far.
Один карабин.
I'm going to bring it in.
Камера.
The camera is here.
Свет. Прошу, транспортировочный. От.
The translation aid.
Все. Пойду
Attached.
на место.
The Olympic torch in place.
Крылок бэк. Лови.
Crew look bag. Here.
Как там?
How is it?
Нормально.
Good.
Ползаем? Да? Давай.
Getting in, huh? Yes.
Убрал. Хорошо.
I am ingressing.
Принято.
Copy.
Принято. Так. Сейчас Олег с тобой. Ага. Ногами.
I'm right underneath. Okay.
Так. О.
Both spacewalkers now making their way back into the Piers docking compartment. And again, the spacewalk will officially wrap up once they've closed and locked the hatch on the Piers. But in the meantime, they are now at 5 hours and 38 minutes.
Right at the end. Let's work with the protective ring now. Copy.
Ты как там? Да ничего, Бог все. Блин. Сейчас я тоже. Давайте там помочь. Да, Сергей, я так понимаю, ты...
Sergey, I understand you are removing the protective ring.
Нет, отключаюсь.
No, I'm turning off the sublimator. It's off now.
Так, кажется, сейчас буду снимать. Написано сушка.
I'm going to remove the
Пошел.
protective ring and the timer is on.
Ты помочь как? Нет, просто там как раз неудачно, что солнце бьет прямо.
Do you want help? Well, the sun is shining straight in the eyes.
Там эти все шланги выключили. Надо будет их... Так, кольцо.
The ring removed.
Слушай, стоят.
Copy.
Состояние резиновых уплотнителей.
Check the rubber seals
С моей стороны чисто.
of the hatch opening. I'm checking my side is clear.
Принято.
Copy.
Прости. На, при случае там способишь. Ага. Секундочку.
Just a second.
Давай.
Right here.
Так, не вижу.
I can see. Okay, good.
Нашел.
Found.
Зафиксировал.
Secured.
Резину плотнее, но вроде ничего. Все в пыли, конечно.
The rubber seals seem okay, all the kind of dusty.
Смотри, там шланги за поручень. Смотришь? Правой рукой шланги, говоря, свародные. За поручень просто их
The O2 hoses should be behind the handrails.
Так.
Okay.
Секундочку, что-то у меня тут.
Stand by.
Да, все убрал. Да. Так, сначала шлем,
All be taken care of. So we'll start with the sublimator.
гермобокс.
Thermobox.
Да. Олег, ты мою правую ногу случайно не видишь?
Can you see my right leg?
Какой смех? Потерял.
Just adjusting.
А у нас есть какая-нибудь тряпочка?
We have a rag here to wipe the dust.
Нет,
No, we don't. Maybe towel wiper.
Не стоит. Хорошо.
Ah.
Были из царапин сколько? Прямо на этих уплотнениях.
Dust on the field.
Как ноги? Не замерз? Не, нормально. Значит, как комфортно.
Doing all right? Yes, I'm comfortable.
Now 5 hours and 45 minutes into today's spacewalk. Should be wrapping up very soon as officially ends when the spacewalkers have closed and locked the hatch on the Pier's docking compartment. They are both now in and preparing to do that. Today's spacewalk was scheduled to last about 6 hours, so they are pretty much right on time.
магнитиком, мы хорошо придумали.
It was a good idea with a magnet, yes.
Один болт, и второй тоже.
One bolt and the other bolt as well. Magnet was very helpful.
Как ее целиком. Как раз его удобно ставить.
Inaudible.
Да, и как раз тормозить будет лучше. Качество лучше. Там какая-то смазка такая густая.
It was a thick lubricant.
Закислилась на этих штырьках. Ну, он легко из закрытого в открытое переходил, а там, правда, чуть клинил.
And it was easy at first from the closed blind opening, and then it got stuck.
Алло, Сергей, когда
Alex,
диктует сушка норму, доложите нам.
Sergey, let us know when you get the data.
У меня есть сушка, только что прошло.
My drying is complete. My drying is complete as well. Okay, you can go ahead and close the hatch.
Хорошо.
Okay. Removing the hook. Let me turn around. Removed? Yes.
Стой. Вижу.
Stop here. Yes, I can see.
Не хотел выходить домой.
This didn't want to get in.
Так, подожди, я сейчас просмотрю по периметру, ничего не попало. Ничего. Закрываемся.
Are we closing?
Есть.
Yes, we are in. The hatch is closed.
Да.
Copy.
25.
Copy.
Ключ до упора повернули, да, все сняли.
And you move the handle to full stop. Yes, to full stop. We could see the barrels in cut engaged completely.
Crew reporting that they did close the hatches on the Piers docking compartment, which marks the end of today's spacewalk.
Yes.
That came at the 5-hour and 50-minute mark at 2:24 p.m. Central Time today. Again, Russian
The work done.
spacewalk number 36 now complete at 2:24 p.m. Central Time after 5 hours and 50 minutes. And we'll have some updated spacewalk stats for you in just a few moments.
Good job. Thank you. So are you sure the barrels are in? Checking one more time. Alex, Sergey, please confirm the hatch is closed, right? Yes, the hatch is closed. The rollers clicked. The latch is engaged. Copy.
Спасибо.
Thank you very much for your work. I'm Handing over to the airlocking specialist. We'll talk to you at debrief. Yes. Where did you push me here? Did I push you? I did not. You look good. I just got hooked onto you here. Alex, this is Dmitry. How do you read me? When you are ready to work the 8. And I thought you were already home. You're ready, okay. Step 3. Ready. Checking KSD too close, KSD so close. Indicators off. Opening КВД ПХУ. S2. Repressing to 260. That will be about 6 minutes. Copy. КВД ПХУ S2. Go. Command. Open the indicator is on and the pressure is increasing. But also pressure in the suit and pressure in the module. Okay, 4032, copy. $60, 03. Copy. 028.
Принято.
Copy.
Принято.
Находить point 25, point 24.
Принято.
Copy.
Принято.
Copy.
Once again, today's spacewalk is officially over. Total of 5 hours and 50 minutes spent outside the space station today by flight engineers Oleg Kotov and Sergei Rosansky as they completed the Russian spacewalk number 36. Again, it took 5 hours and 50 minutes, just under the planned 6 hours, and wrapped up at 2:24 p.m. Central Time. It was Kotov's 4th spacewalk. He started out with 3 spacewalks under his belt for a total of 17 hours and 31 minutes, and with this additional 5 hours and 50 minutes, he now has a total time spent spacewalking of 23 hours and 21 minutes. It was Sergei Rosansky's first spacewalk, so he now has 5 hours and 50 minutes as his total. And today's spacewalk was the 174th spacewalk for space station assembly and maintenance.
180.
That now, today's 5 hours and 50 minutes now brings the total up to 1,094 hours and 39 minutes spent spacewalking. Among the things they accomplished today on the spacewalk were some work to set up a spacewalk workstation. They were able to install a handrail and remove a launch bracket from that workstation, which is going to house the camera following the next spacewalk when it will be installed. They weren't able to get a foot restraint installed as they had planned, and brought that foot restraint back inside the station with them so that they could do some continued troubleshooting. And they got the one experiment aimed at
0.8. Copy.
gathering seismic information, got it partially deactivated. They were able to unhook all the cables, but had some trouble getting its antenna folded, so they also left that for a future spacewalk. And of course, the first thing they accomplished was the official handoff of the Olympic torch that brought to the space station this week on Wednesday by a new Soyuz that just arrived, Soyuz TMA 11M, which carried into space Mikhail Turin, Rick Mastracchio, and Koichi Wakata, as well as the Olympic torch. This was the first torch to ever be taken outside the space station on a spacewalk. There's one other Olympic torch that has gone to the into space aboard Space Shuttle Atlantis. However, this again is the first one that's been on a spacewalk and has been exposed to the vacuum of space. It's going to be returned now to Earth on the Soyuz TMA-09M, which is scheduled to depart from the space station tomorrow with Fyodor Yurchikhin, Luca Parmitano, and Karen Nyberg. And they'll take that torch back to the ground where it will be utilized in a future leg of the Olympic torch relay. In fact, it'll be actually the final leg. It's going to be used to light the Olympic torch at the start of the Winter Games in February.
Okay. Oleg, while we are stabilizing, you have a goal to go to step 9, transition to onboard power. First, let us verify the BSS total pressure. Looking. The first one is 400. Copy. Three is 120. Copy. First is 0. Second is 420. Third is 130. The fourth is 200. Okay. Then turn BSS to open position to EVA. Copy. Mating to the onboard power supply. Yes, use the onboard supply. Copy. I don't even see where that is.
This is Mission Control Houston with the spacewalk wrapped up and the spacewalker safely back inside the Piers docking compartment. The next leg of the Olympic torch journey begins tomorrow when it's going to be returned to Earth with TMA-09M, which will carry with it Commander Fyodor Yurchikhin and flight engineers Luca Parmitano, taking them home after a 6-month stay in space.
Yes.
Those activities leading up to their landing are going to start off tomorrow with the farewell and Soyuz hatch closure. We'll start our coverage of that here on NASA TV at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. Then hatch closure itself is scheduled for 2 p.m. We'll take a break at that point and pick back up at 5 p.m. with the undocking coverage. Undocking itself is scheduled for 5:26 p.m. Central Time. After that, we'll take another break and come back one more time for the actual landing coverage, which will include deorbit burn at 7:55 p.m. Central Time and the Soyuz landing in Kazakhstan at 8:49 p.m. Central. All that coming up on Sunday, again kicking off at 1:30 with a farewell and Soyuz hatch closure. And of course, you can see a wrap-up of all that activity at 9:30 a.m. Central Time on Monday morning when we will be showing a video file of all the Soyuz post-landing activities. With that, we're going to wrap up our coverage of today's Russian Spacewalk 36. And this is Mission Control Houston.